Um, Welcome back, guys, to another week of Roll Initiative, Law and Order, Special Cryptids Unit. I didn't look up on that one. I didn't have to because I this is the second time reading it.
Hey, he remembered the thing.
Yeah, I remember the name of our show. Um, I was gonna say though, it's like the name of the show is probably a little bit long. What was it? I think Google Podcast when I was putting it in was like, maybe your show's a little bit long. It's gonna get truncated a lot. Do you want to like trim it up? And I was like, nah.
No, we're
It
like a
just
brand with a series, and we're calling that from the first episode. So fuck you, Spotify, or whoever.
exactly. We're so confident that we'll have multiple seasons that we named the season, not just the show.
Because we're coming back for season 2, baby.
That's a poor level of confidence. Um, but I am your dungeon master, Brian, and I'm here to get rowdy this week with some maybe some frog people.
Oh, he got frog sound effects. We're in for some
And we've got Ryan.
That's me. Sorry, I forgot there was supposed to be a pause
Look at
there for me to say my name.
Look at like a flawless introduction ceremony.
And Ryan's
Uh,
chair.
Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. Hi, I'm Ryan, and Lawrence's favorite movie is canonically Annie now. His canonical least favorite movie is going to be what year is it? It's 1980 something.
Early
Um,
80s.
You know every movie that came out at around this time off the top of your head? Shoot.
Yeah.
I'll say Zapped. I don't know if that's out yet. Zapped was
Oh,
terrible.
We're gonna we'll totally call you on it. That was not that year. How dare you?
how
I've
dare
never
you?
heard that.
You
Fact
don't know
check
that
it.
either.
Oh, it did come out in 1982. Shit, I was right.
How
Yeah,
Same
get
years,
wrecked,
Annie.
Micah. Get wrecked, dog. Pick a bam.
I like how you just made the movie that you happen to be watching that one time you got home your favorite movie canonically.
I've seen it 8 times now. Or Lawrence has seen it 8 times at least.
It's very important to him.
I have not seen it.
Well, aside from Ryan and Lawrence, we also have
Mikey? Hey, I don't.
and aside from Mikey, the last one we have, last and least.
Oh, wow. I feel so humbled and appreciated.
Yes.
I'm Eric. I will be playing the character Norman. Just a normal human. The most normal of humans. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see.
Or as we like to call him, Orange Bigglesbop.
Orange Bagel Bop, which is currently my display name on the chat.
Yes. All right, so I humbled Eric, which was a good idea.
Oof.
If you get a chance, you should humble Eric before all D&D sessions because otherwise he's just gonna womp you.
Ooh. I feel all of the destined negativity towards me, and you know what? It powers me. It gives me strength. Fuck you, losers.
Eric, you consistently rolled that ones a lot.
Fuck you also, right?
It's a statistical anomaly.
Initiative, join us on our quest. Roll initiative, you can dip part of a long rest. Roll initiative, it looks like combat has begun. Roll initiative, now it's time to have some fun. Roll initiative.
Where did we leave off last week? Oh, that's right. I do this part. All right. So last week, you guys flew back from your mission to capture and or kill the chupacabra. You captured the chupacabra and brought him back to the facility, to the collective. Back at the collective, you met with the jailer Jackson, who was a giant bear. He told you guys he helped process in the chupacabra. He mentioned that he he did not have one of these in his collection. Yeah, what was I calling it last week?
The menagerie.
The menagerie,
the-
yeah, it was real titly.
His menagerie. He didn't have one of these in his menagerie. He also poked fun at Lawrence because he doesn't have any werewolves in his menagerie, and he needs one.
Sorry.
He needs at least two, to be honest with you. But after processing in the chupacabra with Jackson, the on-site prison guard / warden, you guys all went home for the night. Um, and in a series of fun little stories, we found Norman go home. Oh, wait, activated Siri on my phone. Aha! That's silly. That's a silly one, guys. But anyways, we found Norman go home to a rather plain apartment where he then turned himself into a construction worker. And after a very little amount of sleep, got up and went off and worked a full early morning and into the afternoon shift of construction.
Sorry, I just
Uh,
want to interject real quick. I feel like
yeah.
for viewers at home, the important character moment. His face melted off while he looked in the mirror before he turned into a construction worker.
His face did melt off. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
thing that happened.
we had some true form reveal. Oh my! Wow, 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 wow. Norman's real form revealed. Rorschach face, white leathery skin, emaciated, skinny looking, just some real nasty looking stuff.
Indeed.
But yeah, then I became a construction worker, and then I'll let you continue what you were doing. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just felt that was a crucial little detail.
Considering we don't have a ton on Norman, you're right. That is a very crucial detail. Norman became a construction worker, worked a full day as a construction worker, where he then proceeded to have what he thought would be a soothing moment with an old friend of the construction worker and the foreman. But what really ended up being a little bit more confusing for everyone than anything else. One last chance to say goodbye, but you hadn't really seen each other in a very long time. And then Norman turned into a wolf and ran into the woods. He didn't turn into a wolf in sight of his old friend, though. That would have been a bit much. Running through the woods to where Norman's actual home is, a cave filled with loot and goodies from his many lived lives. Norman did notice that he was being followed by something that was unseen, and he was able to lose this presence as he made his way back to his cave full of almost his dragon's hoard of knickknacks and goodies. The presence that was following him made its way back to its owner and master, where we found Lawrence in his apartment above a movie theater watching Annie for canonically the eighth time.
Eighth time.
All right, yes. So we lived some Annie. Winston, not Ulysses, reported back to Lawrence that he had attempted to follow Norman. Did see him turn into a wolf again. That's not new news,
No.
but lost him as he made his way through the forest. Felt like he was almost like seen by him, even though he was invisible. He did point out that the guy just was weird, like worked a full day as a construction worker, blank face, and then just wolfed out, went into the woods. Very strange fellow. Lawrence then proceeded. Well, this was after Lawrence had been woken up, having a bad dream, dreaming of a fight with his father, a dream that felt very real. His father taunting him, saying that you'll never catch me, you'll never, you'll never be able to end my curse, my lineage. My pack grows bigger every day, and you are running out of time.
Mm.
And Lawrence was awoken to his book returning with, not exactly at all thrilling or interesting news. He still hasn't gotten to the bottom of Norman. He There's something weird about him, but he can't put his finger on it.
We'll catch him eventually, Winston. They all slip up.
They all slip up, he says. Mikey returned back to his apartment, where, upon reading some of his Superman comics, was contacted by his dad via Hell Pager, the pendant, and then summoned a portal with his black book to communicate with his father. And after a good father and son back and forth, you never call your mother, you never stop in and visit, how's things on the top side, how's things on the downside, a little bit of work talk. Mikey's dad did point out to him that there was some big rumblings going on, some kind of big plans coming into effect. Um, Powers were gathering, and the more strange stuff he came up against, he should probably try to avoid some of it, because there's powers in this that are even above what his dad is capable of. So after a good conversation with his dad, everybody finally gets back to work the next day. You guys meet with the director. A little bit of talk about how the mission went, and then we set up for where we're at now. You guys are about to meet with who they call the Lens. That was a weird burp. That was a weird burp. Who they call the Lens, aka the Mothman. And that's where, like, in the Hollywood, you do the clap, bam. That caught it good. So you guys have just ridden the elevator all the way back up to the top, and you are back up in the general facility floors. Up here is where the lobby setup is. It is connected to most of the offices of the general field agents, people who are stopping in and out of the office. It also is the location of the larger suite where Albert, or the Lens, operates out of. And you guys make your way across the lobby and into his office. You guys open the door, and immediately right in front of you is just a one of those old 70s, like, beaded like curtain screens, like right past the doorway. And through the beaded screen, you can kind of make out, like, a few candles burning, and you smell heavy incense in the air, and the sound of, like, sitar playing in the background. And you guys enter through the beaded curtains into an absolute, just smoky opium den. Right
Made
outside,
it a deep voice.
right outside was like a regular office lobby. You guys could no idea that this is right on the other side of this door. And on the other side of this room, you guys see a figure just kind of like laying on a beanbag. These big, like beautifully blue, translucent kind of like wings that are almost a little bit furry, laid out behind it, kind of like draped over the sides of the beanbag. And this just absolute giant, fuzzy, furry, um, kind of like those like weird, like antlery, furry antennas coming off the top. Big ass fucking Mothman, big red eyes, the whole thing. This dude's just a big humanoid moth.
What
And
number am I thinking of today?
It's
Moth.
always 7.
Damn, he's good.
I approach him overly formally. I'm gonna assume he can just tell what's about to happen from a mile away. Where I'm just like, "Sir, it is a privilege to be in your presence."
Oh, I got 1 second. 1 second. Let me realign here, guys. And he like leans back and pulls out a pipe, and like just kind of like lightly puffs on it.
Ooh, hey, you
And-
trying to share?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested in this too.
Guys, don't be rude.
He
Hey, it'd
looks
be rude
around.
not to.
Yeah, if he's offering.
He looks around and he like takes another chief on the pipe, and then kind of cups his hand like over his mouth towards like Mikey and Lawrence. He's like, just don't tell Norman. And he hands over the pipe to you guys and like pretends like that Norman wouldn't see because he didn't say it to him.
I would
Might
like
be
to
you
roll a
do the honors.
perception check with disadvantage to see if I still don't notice it because I'm just so outraged.
Perception me.
I just feel like this is something that, like, it's so obvious that I feel like I should, and my perception's so good, but I just want to know if there's a world where me, Eric, can roll so shitty on perception. No, it's a 27.
With disadvantage.
Oh, with disadvantage, it's only a 14.
I mean, you still see them smoke it.
It's right in front of you.
Yeah, it's
It's
yeah.
like-
I was just really hoping for some reason that second one would just be like a 9 or something. It happens a lot, as Ryan pointed out earlier, calling me out again.
I didn't do it again. I just did it once.
No, in life, you've called me out.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah.
How
So-
fucked up do I get?
Give me a Constitution check, both you and Mikey.
Flat Constitution check or save?
Constitution saves.
Let me see.
Boom, boom. That's 18.
Sorry, my stuff's being slow. Come on. There we go. You said save?
Yep.
That would be 4.
All right. So with an 18, Lawrence, you take the first puff, and you cough a little bit. You feel a little bit buzzed up. You can tell that Albert looks absolutely fucking whacked. Like this is just what he's been doing since he got in to work. And then Mikey, you having seen Lawrence only take like a small little cough afterwards, you're like, all right, well, I'm a bigger guy. And I do have a higher tolerance probably for smoke, so you just rip it real fucking hard, and it's a big old like pipe, and it gets a real hard cherry going, and it burns hard and hot. You let out this massive cloud of smoke. It comes out your nose. You almost poof. You basically just disappear in smoke, and you cannot stop coughing. You have one of those coughs where you're like, "Ah, man, I might die. This could be this could be that one that gets you."
That's good shit.
And you are blasted.
I feel
You
that.
have disadvantage. Like it's not going to affect anything. I feel like for right now, but I'm going to say disadvantage on perception checks. uh, uh, for the next 2 hours.
Like advantage on being cool checks.
No. Disadvantage on being cool checks as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're a
yeah,
positive
yeah.
reinforcement.
Yeah, you're so high that you can't even be cool.
What about me? I passed. Or can I be cool?
Just be cool,
No.
Ah.
Yep. Sorry. Now that I've torn everybody down early in the session,
Get it done
we
early.
shall continue. All right. So Albert looks over at you guys. He's like, "Man, I knew you guys were cool, and I knew you were Norman. So what brings you guys here today?"
I suppose we're going to our next mission, right,
Oh,
guys?
Surely.
oh shit! Yes, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm supposed to send you on your next mission. That is correct. Yes. Where did I put that paperwork? Around here somewhere. He like reaches under his butt, like on the beanbag chair, and like there's just like a crumply one piece of paper. And he's like, "Oh, all right, here we go."
You know, those like official documents and stuff. Really
Official
important.
document. He goes, "Oh, Loneville, Ohio," and then snap. He like his eyes like open like fully as wide as they possibly can, and they go like just like glowing red, and he like his like almost like entire persona kind of changes from like very relaxed to like he's like sitting up rigidly now in the beanbag chair. He's like, "In Loneville, Ohio, you will find reports of a large amphibious bipedal humanoid creature. These aren't the first reports we've ever gotten of this. The Ohio River Basin seems to be a hotbed for amphibious crypto reports. You guys will be deployed at once to Loneville, Ohio. We've had a very recent sighting. It happened just last night. A sheriff's deputy had a sighting of the creature. Apparently, the sheriff had seen it earlier in the week. These were the first sightings since a couple of decades before. Finding, looking. Yes, there was an old farmer who had seen it coming back from an auction. A group of them, actually. So, 3 sightings over the course of 20 years. This will constitute as an applicable investigation for the group of you. And he finally like kind of like his eyes like flutter back out, and he kind of like slumps back over, and he's like, "Oh, I really don't like those visions." And then like hits his
What?
pipe again.
Does the opium help with that,
Well,
or is that just kind of for fun?
It's the copium, man.
can it be both?
I mean, it can be, I
Opium.
guess.
The copium, I like that, Norman. I didn't know you could say cool stuff.
I didn't know that either.
All right, so essentially, from what I picked up from that was that you guys are going to Ohio, and you're going to investigate. It looks like some cool little frog people.
Whoa.
Did they say how many that they saw? Is it just single sightings or is it groups?
So, from what I'm to understand, is there was like one guy who saw it like a while ago, like the first sighting, and then it's been like kind of dormant for a while, from what I hear, and then bam, just this week, 2 sightings, 2 police officers, but like one
But
of them.
they only ever saw one.
So like the first guy said he saw a couple, like way back when, but the police officer. The weird thing is the first reported sighting earlier this week. Apparently, the guy saw just one big frog guy, and the second sighting later this week, the guy said what he thought he saw was a large reptile that could have been somebody's house pet that he shot at and escaped. So there's kind of some contradicting reports on that sighting, but the first sighting from a long time ago was kind of a crazy one. The dude said he saw like 3 frog dudes. They had magic wands. They were like on the side of the road doing some kind of ritual. But he is no longer of the mortal coil. You would have to speak with his kids when you get down there. We are going to set you up with a liaison down there, somebody who actually works with the company and also works for a local tabloid newspaper, kind of running interference, as you might say, on some of the cryptids in the area.
Interesting.
Speaking of liaisons, the director had called me. He was sending out units to clean up some Zom goats or something from the last mission you guys had done, and they can't seem to reach the sheriff.
Well, he said something about going on a 2-week vacation.
Yeah, Norman told us he was going on a 2-week vacation.
Yeah.
All right,
He gave us his car.
that's a weird thing.
And he told us everything we needed to figure out where we had to go next.
It's a strange thing for a guy to do. Well, hopefully he. I mean, I can't see his future at the moment, so
Because he's living it up in Palm
because
Springs.
he's living up in Palm Springs. All right. I'll let the director know that he's on vacation. I didn't know he put in for vacation.
He's the sheriff. He can do that
just,
whatever he wants.
He knew we were taking care of it, so he decided that he would take a break while he could.
All right. With that said, anybody want to hit this bowl one more time before you guys go see the fucking the triplets?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
He tries to pass it to Norman first.
I accept.
Come on, Norman. Be cool. Yeah.
Norman fake smokes with the group. Peer pressure gets everyone.
I just look at it and I'm just like, so what is it? And I start thinking back and I'm like, oh, it's a peace pipe. And then I hit the peace pipe.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey,
There you go.
I just fucking vomit immediately.
It's that one. I just want
that one for a 3 constitution save.
Oh my god.
I just hurl everywhere immediately after hitting it. And I'm just like, that's no peace pipe. Oh god, it's so vile.
I take it from his hands.
I feel like as you do that, are you able to like hold your shape?
Should this be another con save because it's like my physical body getting jostled violently? Should this be a performance check to just try to play it off? Should it be?
I think performance check sounds best to me. I think.
Like you cough and your eyeball pops out to like the size of a basketball and then pops
I just
back
like
in.
Rotate my body in just the right way to make it like, oh, it's a 28 performance check to just be like, oh, no.
All right, so you puke like beautifully. It looks it looks like you look like a ballet dancer as you do it. So nothing happens. I was worried. I was like, if he rolls poorly on this, it might be like a scenario where somebody sees the Rorschach face a little bit.
No Rorschach face for the rest of you today. I kept that shit on lockdown.
On lockdown. Your performance is fantastic. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I took the expertise in the performance skill so that I could just play it off like I'm a person.
All right, I'm gonna hit the pipe next again.
All right, you guys don't have to give me more Constitution saves. You guys both, you and Mikey both hit the pipe out of politeness on the way out. Everybody is thoroughly fucked up. Norman, you also have disadvantage on cool checks and perception checks for 2 hours.
Bro, I have disadvantage on whoa.
What?
Did anyone else hear that, man?
This is gonna make the next part so much better.
Yeah, it's like there's this narrator who's just like explaining everything happening around us in this weird mechanical language, like it's some sort of game to him.
So, I'm just looking at the back of my hand.
Oh god.
Just spaced out entirely, not paying attention at all.
What's super stoned Mikey doing?
I was actually just wondering, is this opium? Or is this some indescript drug of some kind?
You guys imagine it's opium, but nobody asked him.
I would just be relaxing, honestly, then.
Yeah, I have no idea what happens when you do that off the top of my head.
You just relax. It's just
lay down.
Yeah, you really would just want to lay on a pillow.
Hence why he is sunken into a beanbag. You guys have work to do.
Yeah. We'll get
We're-
there. Yeah,
We're like super on it right now.
yeah, totally.
Like 100, dog.
Everybody lays down and takes a nap. There's just sitar playing in the background.
We should just go back and hang out with.
This means I have to make
Lens.
sitar music for this episode now.
Yeah, yes it does.
We should go ahead and hang out with the Lens. He's got more.
This part right here has sitar undertone.
Originally, I was just gonna do like one measure of it for when you first mentioned it, but now I got to give it the whole part of sitar.
Who knows? But you guys are leaving this room anyways. You guys have places to be. So after like a nice little like hour and 45-minute nap on the floor, amongst comfy pillows, with some Rapid Shankar playing in the back, you guys head on out and head on down the hallway and out to the annex building where the lab is for the triplets, known as the mines here at the collective. You get to the facility. Out front is this part of the facility looks a lot more technologically advanced than other parts of the facility you've been to so far. It's got a like real like Cold War like heavy doors, keypads, all that kind of jazz. Army tech almost, it feels like. You buzz yourself in, big heavy bomb blast like protecting doors interlocked with metal slowly open up. And as you guys walk into this large open facility with all sorts of machines that you don't understand how they work, and testing ranges, targets, dummies, models with different pieces of armor and gear on them, the lights in the room all go dim to almost dark, and a spotlight appears in the middle of the room, and dropping from the ceiling from a line and just kind of like spinning all the way down and then releasing themselves from the line and parachuting down with a large flap of skin stretched from underneath their legs and raised over the back of them, over to the top of them to make a parachute. A small, I don't know, like smaller than you guys, but bigger than an actual raccoon, but raccoon-like creature comes flying and plummeting down from the sky, gliding in its parachute. And as it comes flying it down, it goes, "My name is Gyro," and it lands and does a pose.
Oh, I absolutely love this thing immediately. I follow up with a pose, a real silly Sentai pose.
You're not a centaur?
Sentai.
Oh, Sentai pose. Excellent.
Yeah, like some
Centaur
sort
pose.
of Ginyu Force Power Ranger style, just like, yeah!
Exactly. This is a real Team Rocket introduction. And then another spotlight comes flying in, and out of a cannon shot is another raccoon comes flying across the like Evil Knievel style shot out of a raccoon. Out of a cannon, raccoon out of a cannon, flying through the air, and then deploys its large skin flap like parachute behind itself as as almost like one of those like rocket cars does in the desert to slow itself
Sanuki
down.
Tom.
And it lands and it says, "I'm Axis." And then one more spotlight, and all you guys see is a single metal line going all the way down, like to where those two are already posing, and sliding down that line, skin thrown over the top to make like a little like holder for itself, is another raccoon, and it comes flying down, and as it gets real close, it leaps off and goes, "And I'm Zipline," and it lands as it rode down on a zip line. And they're all doing
Climb
Get You
it.
For Team Rocket poses, all next to each other, and like, "And we're the triplets, Tanuki triplets."
Can we keep them?
I don't
I'm
like
going
them.
to I'm going to toss the trash out on. I'm going to toss some trash onto the floor.
Racist. They're not raccoons.
They
They
look
look
at the
like
trash.
raccoons.
They look at the trash, and their eyes like twitch, like somebody that like wants something a little bit. And then out of nowhere, a tiny little like sweeper robot comes flying out of a wall, and like picks it up and goes away with it. The first Roomba
Toss another piece of trash.
How
robot
much trash do you
comes
carry
flying
with you?
back fast. Yeah, how much trash you got in your pockets, big guy?
I have
Roll
a
for
bunch
trash.
of mint wrappers. All right.
Roll for trash, you
Alright.
monster, you littering monster.
What am
It's
I
not the
rolling,
werewolf
Joey?
that makes you a monster, it's the littering.
The robot cleans it up, right?
It's the principle.
You've got 7 trash. You've used 2.
I just
Be
tossed all
careful,
of them
you
onto the
trash
floor.
God damn it.
He's fully emptied his trash meter.
His trash meter's empty. I knew when I designed that moment that Eric was gonna love it and Mikey was gonna hate it.
Oh yeah, you figured it out.
It's the perfect
Wow.
formula. You make a bunch of anime characters, and I'm instantly sold. Mike hates it.
Oh, they're fucking nicknames. It's just the whole package.
They have little nicknames.
Yep, they do.
So, they're Japanese. What can I do for you, man? Sorry. And they all use their and you guys see as like now all the lights come back on the facility and it goes back to regular. They're all still kind of in their poses, but like Zipline's scrote that he was. These guys all use their scrotes. That's like the Tanuki
I feel like-
deal. Is that they have giant scrotes, not necessarily giant nuts, but big utilitous scrotes. Good for being a boat, good for holding water in it. It can either float in water or hold water. It is the Swiss Army knife of body parts.
You can
for
use
that.
it to glide as a pudgy Italian plumber.
Yes. Yep.
And how
Yep.
and how does it help with all the technology?
Oh, it doesn't. They're smart and they're super nerdy, but they use their scrotes for when they're working on stuff, it's like a tool pouch basically. They're just like constantly rummaging around in there. Like, where did I put that 5/8 socket wrench at? You guys see that Zip Line's scrot is also rubbed really raw from running down the pipe. And these guys all kind of like speak at like at the same time over each other, essentially. So it's a lot of like they're very excited and excitable. So they're all just like kind of running up to you like, guys, we got this stuff for you. We've been working on all this cool stuff, and here we go. First, check these out. And they hand you a bunch of cans of what looks like soda. They give you about 4 cans of soda, and all the cans just say HP up on them, and they're green. And these are just going to be greater healing potions. You guys have 4 of them. And you can,
one for me and Mike, and 2 for the
Works for me.
Yeah.
And then also, and they also like tugging at Lawrence's like pant legs, and like we designed some special bullets for you, and they give you a couple bullets for your gun, and it's just it's like a small little box of bullets, and it is 3 bullets that are basically just going to act like a firebolt, in addition to your regular damage from your gun would be.
I was just using Firebolt as my gun.
So you're doubling the firebolt damage.
So it'd be 4d10. It's not bad.
Nope.
If it hits.
If it hits. And it, like, once you've used the bullet, it's gone. Like, if you miss with it, that bullet,
Yeah, it's gone. It's
yeah.
just...
So you've got 3 of those.
All right, save them to level 17 so they do 8d10.
And then they all go run over to Mikey, and knowing that Mikey doesn't like them, they still like crawl all up in and under his like coat, and they're like popping in and out like from under his coat and all over the place. Like their heads are just like out of sleeve, up behind his neck, and like you're like visibly not very comfortable with it.
Hey, whoa, get the hell out of here. Get out. No, not in there. Get out of here.
Oh, but they're so cute.
And while you're swatting around, one of them deposits a monocle on your eye, like on your red eye, right above, and kind of like slips away. And they all kind of like scurry out from underneath of you, and like out to in front of you. They're like we designed this monocle for you, and it allows you twice per day to direct your Eldritch Blast thing that comes out of your eye 2 different directions.
Oh.
It doubles it. It doubles it.
Nice. You're not so bad after all.
So basically, it lets you use Eldritch Blast like it does at level 5
Just
for
twice.
now, just twice a day.
Oh no, I mean I would 2 attacks, 2 separate attacks.
Twice a day. You can do it twice, like how it works at level 5 when you can target 2 different people.
We are level 5 now, aren't we?
Yeah, but he's not level 5 Warlock.
You don't need to be for cantrips. They scale with your character level, not your class level. So technically, that would mean he's doing 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah.
Yeah, so it would give you 3 then.
Interesting.
Blah blah blah.
Wow, 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 wow. And then they all run over to Norman, and they just kind of stop. They don't like crawl all over Norman because they realize they've dealt with you before. They know you're a company man, a businessman.
Oh, don't tell me that I have to act stern to them because I always do in my previous form of. But they're so cute, and I want to be their best friend forever.
And then they jump all over you.
Ah, there it is.
Couldn't take it from him.
Get over here, you little rascal.
Norman falls over. There's a bunch of It's like a rolling cloud of like human body parts and like raccoon tails coming out as they all kind of like wrestle with each other in a very playful manner.
I know I'm Mr. Professional, but you can't give me these characters and then just be like, you're Mr. Business. No, fuck
been-
business. I want to pet the friends.
I challenge your businessness.
I instantly surrender my business to just pet friends.
Pet friends. Nice. So they, while they're wrestling around with you, have also implanted a device on you. They have switched out your tie for a nice, tight little black special bow tie.
Ooh.
And this bow tie, this tie is gonna allow you to transform one extra time per day into whatever you want. You get an extra wild shape once per day.
Okay, I just wanted you to be careful because for a second there you were about to say whatever I want, and I was gonna be like, I can wild shape into anything.
Nope.
Anything?
An extra wild shape every day, especially considering how fast and loose you are with your wilds, with your animals.
Yeah, this way I can like turn into a dog randomly. Sometimes you just want to turn into a dog.
Sometimes you just want to be a dog.
You know what? In celebration, I'm gonna burn a wild shape just to be a friendly little dog today. I'm now an adorable dog.
Now you're a really high dog. How's a dog handle opium? Probably not well.
I go back to sleep.
Just instantly, your body's not big enough, and it's not metabolizing everything fat. It's like too quick. You're like, I just need to sleep. Dog sleep. All right. Well, I guess they have. Lawrence, you have to pick up Dog Norman and carry him to the plane.
I'm a sleepy
Have to.
dog boy.
He's gonna get fur all over my suit.
But I'm
You
so
are-
cute. Look at me.
There is already fur on your suit.
Touche. Fine, I'll scoop.
Scoop, 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 scoop.
Always go
So-
with dogs, though. I find that curious.
He wants to be man's best friend. But you guys are suited up. You're leveled up. You're healthed up. You are knowledged up with what you're going to investigate. And now the plane's gassed up. And you guys are ready to go. So somebody give me, in tradition now, a D20 luck check, and we'll see if the plane goes down in mid-flight.
Eric.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
All right.
Mike? Yes.
6.
Oh,
6. The plane does not crash. Literally just a nat 1 if the plane crashes. You guys figure it out. Mike bails.
one of these days I'm
I
gonna
clap.
get it. I promise you, I'm gonna be the one that crashes that plane.
I clap for the pilots.
Mikey
Lovely
bails
land.
and just flies out. Norman turns into a tanuki and then uses his scrot to parachute down. And then
Wait.
everybody realizes that Norman has killed a tanuki before.
Do they count as a beast though?
No.
Well, that remains to be the thing then.
Gotcha.
If they were a beast, I could Tanuk.
You could Tanuk the Luke. Luke the Tanuk. Anyways, you guys fly, and it's uneventful. I'm gonna be upset the day you guys get a nat 1. It's gonna be a real game changer.
Derail the whole session. Just becomes
Derail the whole
plain
session.
survival.
It just turns into Lost.
We died in the plane crash.
Here's a list of numbers.
Hey, don't you be swinging canes?
I'm drinking champagne on the plane, and
And now you're violencing.
maybe I got
There's
a
a
little.
There's there's a rhyme there to be had. If any of us can rap, he's drinking champagne on a train. No, drinking champagne on a plane. Then he got violent, started swinging around with his cane. Nope, still can't rap. Yep.
It was worth the
Yeah.
shot.
I thought it was gonna happen there for a second, guys. I was like, maybe I can rap now. Nope, still can't.
Oh.
He's got a silver cane and he's going insane, and everybody's having a crazy ass time on this motherfucking plane. And the plane does the thing, and the thing does the plane, and then everyone's in the plane doing things.
All right, cool. So it's not just me that can't rap still.
Oh yeah, I've never been able to rap.
I need 8 weeks to prep.
Dude, you can't even come up with a unique username for our fake Patreon
I
subscribers.
came up with Buttcracker 45.
You
What?
changed one word and just went, this homework is different.
I will say I much more enjoy butt cracker. It rhymes with nutcracker, and it's just fun to say butt.
Don't encourage him.
I have to give credit.
Stop
where it's
encouraging
due.
him.
I like the one he gave, even if it was a cheap,
I don't care if it's better.
It was a cheap ripoff. I grant the jury that.
But look, I'm not here to argue. It's definitely an upgrade, but that I can't compliment him when he do wrong, because then he think do right.
Yeah, Pavlov's dog. Boom.
And
I
currently
just got really
Amazon.
lucky. I just got really
Schrodinger's
lucky with
cat. Boom.
Oh no, Brian, you're burning them. You take that and then you add someone's name to it, like in Doug Benson's podcast. So it'd be Schrodinger's Matt.
Damn.
He just gave us a bunch of money on Patreon.
Pavlov's frog. Boom.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. It's the secret.
Kingdom Sharts 87.
That's perfect. Now
Sorry,
you get it.
I just literally looked around my room and saw a Kingdom Hearts pin and just went, boom, money.
Yeah, that's all you need, man.
Iron fan.
At food plastic bag.
Spelled with the at symbol.
Cat food.
Spelled
This is
which makes
so
it very
broken.
hard to post his name.
It reminds me of that Family Guy episode where like Peter's like pretending to not
Yeah.
be him as he applies for something, and he's like looking around the room and stuff. He's like, P
Yeah.
tier.
And then a
Griffin.
griffin flies by, an actual griffin. Ah! Griffin, P-tier griffin. God damn it.
So good. God, I laugh.
That's some like
so
early
hard
season shit.
every time.
That might be
That
first
early
season.
stuff was great. I think it is too.
It was back when things were allowed to be good.
In the before times, the long, long ago.
Okay.
All right. So we're back. We're back now. Back. Ooh, back to New York. Okay. Ooh. All right. You guys had an uneventful flight. Landed in Loneville, Ohio, close to the Ohio River Valley, the Ohio River Basin, the Greater Miami River, which is not in Florida. There is a Miami River, but this one's the Greater Miami River. This one's not in Florida.
This one's greater.
It's better.
Is
It's
there a
better.
Miami? Is there a Miami in Ohio?
Yeah. Yep.
It is also greater.
It's the Greater Miami.
Either.
I just know that. How far away are we from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Museum.
You guys could, if you guys do a good job, you probably have time to visit.
Ah,
Do
sweet.
you want to speed run this case so we can visit the Rock and Roll Museum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show
let's
you
do
all
it.
the people that my daddy signed deals with to get in this building.
That sounds like a great time. I can't wait.
I will warn you ahead of time. They did inform you that this time the liaison is actually a employee and member of the collective,
So
And
I
not
shouldn't
just-
eat them.
and not just the town sheriff. So you probably shouldn't eat them. But
Oh,
I'm
oh, man, that's
I'm not
right.
here. I'm not here to stop you from living your best life.
Look, as soon as you said that, like when you were talking earlier, my initial reaction was, so I'm obviously going to kill them. And then I was like, haha, I'm a chaotic player. I get it. And then I was like, I'm obviously not going to kill them.
You tried not to. You
You tried really hard.
No, yeah, you were. You did what was still best for the mission when you consumed the sheriff. He knew too much.
He knew too much. He had to go. That's just how it goes sometimes.
He had
We don't have
he
one of
had
them
to
cool
go on
MIB flashy
vacation.
things.
He had to go on vacation.
He went on vacation because
Uh,
we don't have MIB flashy things. I've been requisitioning the flashy thing for years now.
So the triplets are working on them. They have not had much success though. Every time they get close to it, they flash each other and they forget it.
Ooh.
Huh.
You know what's even
So they've
better, though?
successfully figured it out like 7 times.
Yep. Can't figure out how to replicate it because they keep forgetting it.
What's even better, though, would be the thing that Doctor Who has. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Doctor Who and his stupid magic wand that does everything, but he has a little piece of paper that portrays whatever official like document or whatever you tell it to look like to anyone. So you just open it up and you go, yeah, FBI, and it turns into an FBI. It actually just looks like a blank piece of paper.
Yeah, I do love that.
I don't like Doctor Who that much, but I always like that little object. I was like, that's pretty cool. It just gives you like backstage passes to any concert. Whatever the hell you want it to say, it'll just say it.
You could, I mean, the triplets could come up with that for you guys. You guys do have a pretty good like carte blanche with most places you go, just because of money. But
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence did tell the sheriff basically that it wasn't a bunch of other paranormal things, but it was probably a couple different paranormal things. And up until that point, the sheriff didn't even really believe in paranormal stuff. So
We should just make a Rolodex of all the agencies that exist, and then every time we have to talk to someone, it's like, Norman, pull out the Environmental Protection Agency.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think we should go with the Department of Health?
The important thing is to not specify. You flash the badge, you act important, and they just let you do things. It's always how it goes.
let's go with immigration on this one.
So yeah,
Or you just say the agency, the government, I'm with the organization. You just say something vague, you flash the badge, and then you just go about your business.
you look like you're supposed to be there. That's the real key.
You always got to flash the badge, though. People love it when you flash the badge.
Do they go wild?
Sometimes. And that's when you know who you're chasing after and you tackle them.
Okay.
But we said that the liaison was a reporter, right?
Yes. So
I would like to actually retcon what I did in the plane from smashing stuff to reading some of their articles.
excellent. So you guys have little dossiers on the plane, and in your dossiers is information about the town, a little bit of information about the liaison. His name is Frank Zapper, and he works for
shit.
the local like tabloid / newspaper. There's really just kind of like one kind of like gossipy newspaper for the town. It has news in it. It also has like local town BS and people write in and stuff like that. It's kind of an opinion piece in some scenarios. And Frank's job is kind of like to run interference for the large quantity of pre-existing and constantly occurring cryptid reports in this area. There is a lot that happen in the waterways in the Ohio area, and in the states surrounding it as well. So he writes articles on fake ones and some crazier, not real reports, and then also writes some debunking articles as well. People coming out and admitting to doing things that he had already come up with before that were fake, kind of like taking people off the scent of what could be real. So it is lucky that the collective has somebody like him local to the area, but he's been here since the first sighting 20 years ago. It was one of the earliest sightings in terms of cryptids in the country. It is one of the sightings that inspired the formation of the collective. And it helps give credence to the company in the sense that there are indeed paranormal things out here. So he's been here for better part of 10 years himself, working as just the overseer of this area. And these last two sightings were so similar to the first sighting so many years ago that he couldn't help but report it into the to the director and have agents set out to have this investigated immediately because it's still fresh.
Mm-hmm.
There's also information in the dossier, like there's articles by him, but you can tell, like I said, a lot of them are like puff pieces and just kind of.
But how good is his writing?
Give me a history check.
Very good. It is a 15.
A 15. He seems like he is a better writer than the material he's putting out. He's putting in more work into his writing than the actual substance to it.
Interesting.
But
I'm a fan.
You're a fan. Excellent. There's also information in the dossier about two different sets of sightings. The first sighting from 20 years ago just basically depicts a regular farmer that was coming back from a cattle auction and a livestock auction. On his way home, it was late at night, and he saw three huddled shapes on the side of the road. He pulled up next to them thinking it was like three guys doing some kind of prayer because they were kind of huddled over. And when he got close to them, he realized that it wasn't three guys huddled over. It was three smaller, bipedal, hunched over gray creatures that were kind of like wide and slimy and with bumpy heads and lipless mouths. And they had like really thin, skinny legs and arms. And as he drove past them, surprised in fear, they had wands, the report says, some kind of like rod that like shot sparks out of it of different colors.
Like a Roman candle.
Yeah, like a malfunctioning Roman candle. Shouldn't come out of both ends though, right?
Can I roll an Arcana to see if I could have any intuition further on what their wands can do?
Yeah.
It's a 16.
16. Since you do know magic and you have a magic book, a spell book essentially, and Mikey also has a spell book. Norman, you cast more from like a spiritual, natural place.
Yeah.
So it's not really like something you learned. It's something you've always like kind of like had and felt. But for Lawrence and Mikey with an 8, you know that like a spell casting focus could be a wand. You know, like you guys have seen people cast with wands before. Oh, Norman.
I'm not even sure I know what a wand is, to be honest. I got a 1 on the Arcana check.
But how many times this session?
It's only the one time this session. I've just been referencing it.
Yeah, that one con save.
Yeah, you did.
Sure did.
I'm sorry.
It's only twice this session. It's only
twice. So it's still a statistical anomaly. And
what do you mean? That's a low amount for me.
For a human being, it's definitely not, but that's fine.
Why do you think I'm afraid of having to roll for things most of the time?
See, I'm trying to fight for the idea that this is an illusion and you don't roll. So I'm upset right now, okay?
All science proves to you that
I don't believe in luck.
You don't have to. Science, baby. I
That's
constantly
what
do
I'm.
that one.
Never mind. Never mind.
Every time you roll in that one, it kills Michael the inside.
It
of him.
does. It really does.
It kills me more.
I don't know if that's true anymore. It
Yeah,
might be killing Mike more at this point.
because
But-
you're fighting with my philosophy on life at that point.
So nuts. So where was I?
Spellcasting focus.
yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
Eric's Nat 1 just absolutely wiped my mind. So you guys know that wands are used as a spell casting focus, and Lawrence, you know as much that there is the reason that wands appear like in stories and stuff like that is because you've seen through time people actually use wands to cast spells in real life. So it's not like somebody made it up somewhere along the line. People have seen it happen. That's why it's like a fantastical thing in books, but it's because it's rooted in actual history.
But with my 16, can I tell what they're actually casting?
Not from the report. You did like blue and white lights coming out could be any sort of like force kind of projectile though.
Too vague.
It could also be like any kind of like illuminating spell as well.
Because they never actually struck at somebody. Right.
But he kind of like the report is he drove past as they had their wands kind of doing the blue and white sparks and got out of there essentially.
Did they actually? They didn't actually attack him though.
No, he just drove past them as they were shooting sparks around.
And one of them got shot. They might think that we're the hostile ones.
So in the second report,
Or he got shot at.
Nobody got shot at with sparks or wands. It was just kind of a drive-by scenario, seeing those things,
Yeah.
and that was the report from 20 years ago. The most recent sighting that happened just this week, the sheriff happened to be driving down an old service road, and on the side of the road by a long set of guardrails that leads over into an embankment down into the water, he saw what he had claimed was a large bipedal lizard-like fat oily kind of gray creature, and standing about like 3.5 feet tall, skinny appendages, was at the guardrail as he pulled up towards it, and it hopped over the guardrail and then stared at him as he walked down the embankment into the water and then drove away or swam away. The sheriff went in and reported it, and they decided to keep it within the police station because it was a kind of a ridiculous report. But thankfully, Frank's connections with the police force was able to get him that report. And then a week later, the sheriff's deputy, Officer Nylander, was driving the same route, trying to see if he could see the same thing, and claimed he saw a large tailless iguana, a giant, really large tailless iguana that he claimed must have been somebody's house pet, and shot at it as it climbed over the same guardrail and then down the embankment and into the water and swam away. And he said that he drove directly back to the sheriff's station and reported what he saw. And as soon as he reported that, the sheriff said, that must have been exactly what I had seen. The description matches it almost dead on. So Frank seems to be indicating in this portion of it that it's a mildly weird scenario that the sheriff would report a large, giant, bipedal reptilian frogman, and then a week later, when it's not even reported out to the public, it's been changed to an iguana that was a house pet.
Okay. Well,
But that's the rundown in your
okay.
guys' PA.
I guess I was a little confused too, because I was about to ask. So he knew it was somebody's pet, or he thought it, and then he shot it? Like, oh, it's just somebody's iguana. Shoot it! But apparently, no, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Shoot that guy's iguana.
Definitely want to talk to this.
I no longer have a question.
Definitely want to talk to the sheriff first.
Probably.
Well, we have to talk to Frank first.
For shizzles. You guys land at a small airport outside of the actually it's basically right on the outskirts of the town. Loneville's not huge, but it's a decent sized town. It's got farms on the outside of town. It's got a nice little main street through the middle. They get decent tourist attraction. They get decent tourist stuff. They actually do have a Frogman festival in the summertime because it's one of the things that they became touristy famous for was having all these sightings back in the day of these frog people, and they've had many other aquatic people, reptile people, and mer people sightings in the river. So people come to see if they get a chance to see anything, just like they would go to Loch Ness. But
is the festival happening now?
What's that?
The
festival is not happening right now. That'd be, you know, how difficult it would be to like hunt frogmen when there's a bunch of people probably dressed up like frogmen.
I see, it'd be great.
That'd be like 17 episodes of you guys like stopping and investigating every person in town dressed like a frogman, being like perception check. Shit, I'm still fucked up from the opium.
The frogmen have hired, and they have an entire war rig, an entire machine. It's just a float.
But you guys land at this tiny airport, and at this airport, waiting, holding a little sign that says Norman on it, is a guy. He's got like one of those little like newsy hats on. You know what I'm talking about? The newsies hats, those little newsboy hats. He's got one of those. He's got one of those guys on. He's got a.
It's actually the name of the hat.
Yeah,
newsboy cap.
Newsboy cap. He's got just a vest on and a tie, and he's smoking a cigarette. And he's holding the sign that says Norman, and he's just kind of like tapping his foot, waiting for you guys as you guys walk up to him.
Frank? Is that Frank?
Yeah, I'm Frank. Frank Zappa, at your service.
Hey, Frank Zappa. I'm a big fan of your work. I read it on the flight over.
Oh, that can't possibly be true. I write terrible, fucking awful, worthless waste of everyone's time fluff pieces. And he like reaches out and starts to like aggressively shake everyone's hands.
As I'm going to shake his hand, I'm just going to go, Zappa, that's an interesting name. Have you ever talked to a demon by the name of Dweezil?
Demons? No, can't say that I have. I've never knowingly talked to a demon. Maybe I've interviewed one. Who knows?
This is our contact that's actually with the.
Yes, he's just never. Yeah. I'm mostly dealing with frog people, and lizard folk, and merfolk at the moment, and the occasional alien.
Oh yeah,
Very
your UFO piece was one of my favorites.
That was actually like, I'll tell you what, not true. You're never gonna believe it. The aliens, the UFO I saw was actually months earlier in a totally different spot. But you gotta keep everybody looking in the wrong spots. I can't have them finding them.
And yet you sold it so believably well.
Well, thank you very much. My mother always told me I was a very gifted liar.
That's
Are you,
disturbing
are
for
you
your
lying?
mother to tell you that.
Are you lying right now?
It's very concerning that your mother would point that out in a positive light, but okay.
He smiles, ashes his cigarette, and he goes, "Well, we should be on our way, gentlemen. I've got a lot for you to do in a very little bit of time." And then turns very abruptly on his heel and starts to walk down the walkway towards the door on the way out.
I'm a follow. I'm a follow that clown.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ask.
As he's walking down, he starts to tell you guys. So the very first thing I've got set up for you, gentlemen, is actually a tour with some local hunting and fishing guides. They're going to take you down the waterways. They're going to show you some of the locations where the frogmen have been sighted, so you can get kind of a feel and a lay for the land. And while you are out doing that, I'm going to set you guys up with an interview. I already set up the interview with the Hollands, and these are the kids of the original sighting. And I haven't quite ironed out the details yet, but I should be able to get you an interview with the sheriff. If not him, maybe the deputy.
I
Um,
prefer to hear it from the horse's mouth.
I know, same here. I agree with you. Like minds. We think alike.
Mm.
But
I thought about getting it
sheriff,
already too.
the sheriff's. Ooh, I bet you'd make a fantastic writer. I mean, you recognize good work. Let me tell you. But the sheriff has been less than accommodating since his original report earlier this week. It's almost like he's been made unavailable or coached into being unavailable, one might say. He's generally a fairly forthcoming man, but given the oddity of the scenario, one can't blame him too much. But like I said, as we're gonna head right down the road here, and I'm gonna set you guys up with Jim and Tim Clark. They are our hunting and fishing guides. Fantastic local hunters. They are going to show you the waterways and let you kick off the investigation with a view of where the sightings, both the original and the second one, happened.
We appreciate
Okay.
that very much. We'll definitely be
Awesome.
able to take it from there. We'll make sure to send them away before we start the investigation too closely.
Yeah,
I have a
Jim and Tim
question.
have seen some stuff. Okay, shoot.
You don't plan on going on vacation anytime soon, right?
Oh, me? I haven't had a vacation in 10 years on the job. I'm not actually supposed to leave. If anything happens, I'm supposed to be here. I am allowed to vacation here, but I've been basically here for 10 years.
Okay.
Hmm.
It's just weird because our last guy we met with, he went on vacation like as soon as we were introduced.
He was the local sheriff. This guy works for.
Wait,
I
you
know,
think- do you think that means I get to? They'll give me a vacation after you guys are done?
maybe.
Oh,
You should
oh,
definitely
man.
follow up on that.
He like his pet. There's like a little bit of pep in his step. I don't even know where I'd go. I thought about it endlessly for the first 5 years, and then I've just kind of given up on it. I don't even think about it anymore.
Oh man.
You should check out the Rock and Roll Hall, the Rock and Roll Museum.
Isn't every day like a vacation? I mean, look, this place isn't so bad. And I look around, and it's Ohio. Yeah.
It's just kind of gray. Kind of gray. It's getting towards evening.
I think there's corn. I don't know what Ohio has in it. Something that sucks.
You guys are near like a cold river.
It's a really old river.
Just cold and old. Just like
Yeah,
I
look at that. That's great. It's like every day's vacation. Such beautiful air here too. There's like a factory in the background.
When you mention the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he like points to his like he's got like a saddlebag kind of on, and that he has like his writing stuff in, and there's just like a bunch of pins on it for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like when he vacations, he can't really go all that far from.
Oh no, this is so tragic now.
Congrats, you've made the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame bit sad.
Breaking everything down today.
Just breaking it all down, Bri. Do you need to talk about something, bud? Are you okay?
He's also got Disneyland stickers and shit like that.
And
Universal Studios.
And a long day of chasing a walking baby around. I'm tired.
You've been holding someone up all day. You just need to push someone down.
No, he holds himself up. You just gotta follow him everywhere because he's just trying to kill himself now. You got no sense of like, gravitational forces.
And he doesn't know what safety is. He doesn't know
physics, gravitational forces. None of those things mean anything. None of those are words to him.
Momentum, inertia. None of it.
Fuck that. I'm running as fast as I can. Then jump on that spinning thing over there
because it pleases me.
It's like watching somebody play a video game for the first time.
I mean, yeah.
You're just like, what's this button do? Ah!
And then they fall off the bed, smack their head with a loud thud.
Oh, Christ.
Wrong button!
Yeah. Watching someone play the video game that you've already beaten for the first time.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's the hard part. You're like, no, hit A.
You just pull yourself up. Just use your arms. That's what they're for.
You can't
balance.
You can't use both your hands for that while you're walking. Stop that. You need one hand. No.
Just give me the controller.
Yeah,
just give me that controller. Just.
I gave him a juice box the other day, and he starts sucking on it good, and then he pulls the straw out of his mouth, and then just goes, yeah, and then squeezes the juice box as hard as he can and just sprays himself.
Did he say yeah?
It was more like yeah, like
squeeze it. That's hilarious. Oh yeah, he's figuring his shit out.
Yeah, just figuring out the operating system.
It made Daddy kind of upset and have to clean the stuff up. That's what that does. That's
literally
what that button does.
Literally just put you in a new outfit. Now you're covered in fruit punch. All right. So you guys are outside the airport. He is taking you. He's taking you out to meet the hunters, the hunting and fishing guides, Jim and Tim Clark, and I feel like this is where we're gonna end the session. It's right around midnight. We just had a big old rant, a funny one.
I can't wait to meet Timothy and Timothy.
Jimothy and Timothy. Jimmer and Timmer.
These fucking Tanukis, though.
Well,
yeah. I was like, "There's nothing about this Mike's gonna like because it's like way too."
Dude. As soon as the first one,
Pokemon.
The very first one, when it landed and it did its voice and it said its name, I was like, "Oh no, there's more of these." I know it.
Like, oh yeah.
And Eric immediately said, "Like, this is great," and I was like, "Oh my god."
name was Orange Biggles Bob.
I don't know who the fuck Gray Dixon is.
It's nobody important, at least.
Obviously. I don't know who they are. I'm running the goddamn gig, telling everybody's fucking stories. I got no idea who Gray Dixon is.
Tell us now. Elaborate on Gray Dixon's backstory and how he's not just a Dick Grayson knockoff.
He is a Dick Grayson knockoff, though.
Oh,
Damn it, you son of a bitch.
does he embrace it?
He's like a better Nightwing already.
Whoa. Nightwing's great. Continue.
That's all I got so far.
Continue with your tomfoolery. He said continue. You are not allowed to yield your time.
I yield.
I now create the Great Dixon storyline, and I say that instead of being an acrobat, he was a trampoline specialist, and he makes use of battlefield trampolines to maneuver around the battlefield.
So what does he bring them with him?
Yes.
So he brings an entire
he brings about 7 deployable
full-fledged trampolines. Like
they're collapsible. They're
That's
Batman style. They fit in the utility belt snugly.
What?
They're made
In
of
the
money.
utility belt?
Yeah, dude. You just have a utility belt made of money.
that has to
and
be
you
a
pull it.
tiny trampoline.
No, it's full sized. It's more powerful than your standard trampoline. You know, all of the comic book shenanigans. Pim particles. I fixed it.
I'm just a bunch of those like real tiny trampolines that people had like their basements all the time when you went over to their house. But it's just that one for one person to jump on. That was like actually meant for exercise, but it was just one kid like endlessly jumping on it while everybody hung out.
He just has a stack of them.
Sorry, I need to
Throws
correct myself. Not Pim particles because that's Marvel. Adam.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We need the Adams help with this because he shrinks stuff down. He's DC's Ant-Man. I don't know which one came first. I forget. He also shrink.
And grow big.
Just like that time Ant-Man, instead of shrink, grow big.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of shrink, grow big.
And they're basically played the same way in the DCU and MCU. Just kind of klutzes.
But they have suit and they go small, but then sometimes they go big.
I'm not sure what parts of proper grammar you took out of those sentences. They sounded weird.
Intentional? I don't remember.
Excellent. Everybody do your voice exercises real quick.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
I saw a yellow envelope. A yellow envelope I saw. I just made it. I don't know.
Whoa.
Actually, that's the best part of Anchorman, and they cut out most of it. It's just him making those up. He's just making that one lady crack up the whole time. Screw the movie. I'll just watch that outtake.
Pineapple banana fizz bitch. Pineapple banana fizz bitch. Pineapple banana fizz bitch.
Gone.
Pineapple
God.
crack rock.
Pineapple crack rock. Okay. Does everybody feel like they're in the zone? Because I feel like I'm entering the zone right now.
Entering, yeah. I'm
so in the zone. I'm gonna do a shout out to AutoZone.
Oh, they're not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but
We should.
What the hell
We
is
should
it?
focus. We should focus on sponsors.
yeah, we gotta work on them. We keep giving out free advertising. We're not getting any of that paper.
Yeah, we need that. We need that paper. So I'm gonna cut the AutoZone part.
Vincenzo's Pizzeria at the corner of 8th said that they would give us free pizza if we give them a shout out. So
Did we actually get promised free pizza?
they're not
There's no
even real,
chance.
Eric. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Okay, so all we have to do is make our own pizza place called Vincenzo's, and then offer ourselves a free pizza in exchange for the shout out that we just gave ourselves. Who's with me?
All right. I see where you're at there, and it sounds like
Reasonable, right?
infinite energy. It sounds like a perpetual motion device kind of.
But free pizza.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're underrated.
We shout out the pizza place. The pizza
Right.
place gets business.
Yeah.
We then give us free pizza, and we
Correct.
continue to shout out the pizza place. Pizza place gets business. Pizza place gives us pizza.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
own
yeah.
all of it.
Exactly. We're the pizza, we're the business, we're the people buying the pizza and eating the free pizza.
We'll call it Mikey's Pizza. Mikey's Pizzeria.
See? I'm already buying pizza from it.
All right. So now that we're done with our ad sponsors, does anybody want to read our Patreon list for this week?
Oh, didn't you say in
Buttcracker
2 weeks
45.
you were gonna have one? Oh, you did say one. Wait, did you
I was
say the
just-
same one again?
Son of a bitch.
You had all this time to come up with one. You said in 2 weeks you would have one. I believe that was
Right,
2
it's-
weeks ago, good
no, it was
sir.
one
It was 1 week.
Yeah, it was 1 week.
Oh, okay. Well, then you have one more week. When we come back here next week, you better have one that's not Buttmaster 45.
But Master 49.
Wow. I said Buttcracker 45, so it was
Yeah.
technically different.
Derivative.
Oh, yeah.
And I backhand you, but you're over a microphone.
Well,
So
the first one was taken.
I'm gonna drive over there and backhand you. Hold on 1 sec.
I'd like to thank Whale Wolf Noob 69.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I never want to say those words together again in my life.
We'd like to thank Gardevoir. Oh god, what's that other Pokemon people want to fuck?
Low Punny.
Yeah, Gardevoir Low Funny Fusion 45. They're all at 45, man. It's just the best number combination. Now you got
Why
me
is
on 45.
Why is 45 the best number combo?
No one knows. It's indescribable.
All right, well then
42 is pretty
Sharktopus 42. The Jackie Robinson of Sharktopuses.
In response, I tap my Sharktocrab, which then taps your creature.
Static.
Yeah, I keep hearing that powerful static too. I think someone's mic cable might be loose.
Let's see here.
Could be mine, maybe.
That sounds to me like bad connection. The first time I allowed it, but that is the second time. And now I will fix.
That's the 4th or 5th time, dude.
Yeah, I've heard it a couple times. At first, I thought it was me, but I haven't moved anything since then.
It's definitely not me.
I did move my headset away for a second. Maybe that was it.
I'm a stationary unit.
All right, let's see if it continues. If it continues, then there will be a price to pay.
Rocks fall, everyone dies. The classic.
Rocks fall, everyone dies. Matt Mercer, pick up my things. Guys, quick session tonight. We didn't even get started. We didn't get past intros.
It was a good
Rocks
round.
fall, everyone dies. I'm
Best
glad everybody
round.
enjoyed their characters,
I'm already making a new one.
but they're dead now. All right. We'll do same thing we did last week. I'll read intro, and then we'll just go in the order of the names here. So, me, Ryan, Mike, and Eric.
Fuck, why am I always first?
I don't know, dude.
I mean, Mike's making it pretty easy. He's always gonna type in Mike.
Yeah, I feel like you weren't first last week.
I guess not.
Alphabetical order.
I don't know how it picks it. I think it just puts me at the top every time, which is fine because I like to be.
I know,
top.
and if we ignore you, it's alphabetical order. GMO.
We're genetically modified.
Oh, you guys, the GMOs. All right.